Let's go! Lots of practice footage to grind before the spring game. But look, if you're watching this even after the spring game, we actually talk about a lot during our spring scrimmage breakdowns. And those that have seen our past few videos, you understand that we look at the depth chart and how things apply going into next season. And a little bit later, you'll see LSU actually working on a play that got TJ Finley his first touchdown pass ever. Here we go. We start off with Big Maason here. The little strip sack drill with Andre Carter. This is something you've seen at the start of practice quite a bit. So here's a pursuit drill, and this could be your first team defense come Saturday at the spring scrimmage. Ed Orgeron said Ali Gay is not totally healthy. I could totally see them being conservative with Ali Gay and Andre Anthony, guys that played a lot of snaps from the year before. You might want to rest them up. Don't take too much of a risk there. So this is more than likely going to be your starting defensive line at the scrimmage. This is Sony Fanua. We talked about him yesterday on the video. Ed Orgeron is really high on him. A former JUCO prospect. Jared Small from Catholic High. It's hard not to cheer for him. And then up front, you have Neil Farrell here, and this is the man we dedicated basically an entire video to, Joseph Evans, and then B.J. Ojulari right here. So this is your typical pursuit drill. We highlighted this in a video not too long ago, where you pursue to the football, and essentially you're pursuing to the ball carrier. And this is Benfield. I believe his name's Aaron Benfield. And these are the type of guys that you don't hear a lot about. They're oftentimes the person that you could trust on to hustle and be the essentially the decoy or the person going through the drills. And your job is to just touch this. This is just pursue. We're taking pursuit angles. We're working on pursuing this guy, pursuit angles. And there's a healthy Derek Stingley Jr., which is always good to see. Something else that's good to see is these coaches really are energetic, and I know that they're just saying this. This is Corey Raymond running alongside his corners to run with them for pursuit drills. That's just really good stuff to see, and Corey's got some speed on him, a former NFL DB himself. And then, as we always point out, when you look at these practice footage, look at all the people in the background, and you can see the offense going through their own personal drills as well. Now, this is a guy who has probably rose the most out of any of the wide receivers. This is Devonta Lee. I know DBU7 made a bold prediction yesterday. He said he has some source information that Devonta Lee will start as a slot receiver next season at LSU, which would be an amazing transformation. This is just simple release drills. Jontre Kirkland, who's the do-all-everything senior leader. And you see DJ Mangus right here working with this group. So it's interesting because there's two wide receiver coaches. This is George Munoz, obviously working with the quarterbacks. This is Jake Peetz, and you'll see Kev Falk here in just a second. Once again, the offensive line going through drills. It's good to see Cam Wire. We haven't heard a whole lot of him during this offseason. And once again, this is something Jake Peetz has really been working on from the footage that we've seen. Quarterbacks throwing to the running backs. Something else I like to see are the GAs that work with the quarterbacks. So it's kind of strange because these two kids, whatever their names may be, could be the next great offensive coordinator. I've always found it interesting. So here's Myles Brennan working with TDP, Kev Falk right there, Jake Peetz right there. And this is just something we've seen in practice footage. Quarterbacks throwing the running back, something that needs to get fixed. I'm not playing audio. Damon Clark working here with Blake Baker, but by far the most vocal coach I've seen on the staff is of the new ones. They're all very vocal. Andre Carter and, of course, whoever else you want to mention. Blake Baker. Now, one thing, he wears the hoodie. This is the only coach I've ever seen at LSU do this thing. He's actually wearing player cleats right here. Normally, coaches just have tennis shoes, or if you see assistants or trainers, they actually wear tennis shoes. Blake Baker actually wears cleats, outdoors and indoors. It's just very fascinating to see. And, he's just working on technique with the linebackers. That's all you've basically seen so far. Josh White, this is Antoine Sampa going through drills. Obviously, Xavier Carter right here. So it's very fascinating to see. Now, this is why I'm so passionate about LSU football and guys never taking it for granted to wear the purple and gold, because there's guys like this guy. There's so many people that work so hard to help this team win, and they're so integral to the team. That's why it's so important to work hard and give it your best, because there's just so many people involved in this operation. If you go to a D2 or a non-Power 5, team, there's never this many assistants to the assistants, media relations, trainers, all those different things. It's crazy how many people are involved with this program. So, once again, our guy Benfield, just there, good role player, good glue guys. So this is Josh White. We talked about him in the live stream, and this is a really good drill. So what this is basically simulating here, and you see Andre Carter and Ed Orgeron and a few other guys back here, Glenn Logan in the gold non-contact. You're working on tackling running backs that are good at bouncing. So what this is simulating is, if this running back is intending to go through this gap and it gets squeezed down, or a defensive tackle, what this running back will do is they'll bounce it, or they'll Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who is so good at this thing. Name any great running back, Najee Harris. And what you're doing as a linebacker is working on going over the top of that and, shedding this block and working your way to the running back. So that's what this drill is simulating. And what happens here is the running back decides to go through that hole, and it's your job as a linebacker to read this. And Xavier Carter, of course, goes through it. So that's what these drills are. And Blake Baker has done a lot of these drills. And that's what he's doing. He's just teaching them how to read these blocks. I'm filming this after the live stream, so my voice is a little hoarse. I got a piece of sandwich stuck in my teeth. It's not even sandwich, it's like oregano, and I'm like, I can't even get it out. Anyway, I finally got it out. That's weird. Anyway, let's rewind that clip. So, basically, it's the same thing. It's Antoine Sampa, Jared Small, going through this drill, teaching you to read the game with your eyes. Really good stuff. So, there we go. We move along here in this practice footage. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Here's Damon Clark going through the same drill. Good job. Good player-coach relation. And here's the money man right here, Joseph Evans, the guy Ed Orgeron won't quit raving about. And I hope he actually turns out to be the player we're expecting him to be. Here's Jacoby and Guillory, who Ed Orgeron said is coming along fine this spring. And boom! Braden Fiocco. I love seeing former players, particularly younger players who know some of these guys, coming back and just motivating. And he's just the best type of teammate. His positive energy, and the world got to see it in the hard knocks with the Chargers, but still. Here's Jaquelin Roy. Here's Desmond Little. All right, Desmond. Part of that 2018 class we were talking about yesterday. Let's go, Desmond. Here's another guy, Phillip Webb. I mean, LSU's got all these defensive ends and tackles that are buried so deep in the depth chart. Here's another one, Eric Taylor. Good to see them getting their shine. And Ed Orgeron obviously coaching them up. Here's Dwight McGlothern. And I want you to notice this red band. And what I believe this is a tracking device that LSU will then look at afterwards to see how players practice, to see how they reacted to certain drills. What's happened now, and Tommy Moffitt can explain this way better than I can, if I'm right about this red, band or whatever. What body physiologists and strength coaches want to do is to see if drills are actually making the athletes better. How fast do they go through these drills? Is it actually making them faster? Is it making them stronger? Is it making them potentially smarter? Or is it wearing down their bodies? Is it a detriment? So when you see things like that, that's probably what those things are. So that was Dwight McGlothern going through drills. This is actually an important drill. right here. And it's not so much the drill, it's who's actually doing the drills. This is Liam Shanahan, here's Ed Ingram, and here's Chasen Hines. He's feeling the pressure from Anthony Bradford, it's Marcus Dumerville, and I believe 67 is Thomas Perry, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Let me make sure I get that right. And then you see with the 2s here, Charles Turner, Marlon Martinez, and, of course, and 67 is Spencer Payne. I'm sorry, Spencer, for confusing you. Liam Shanahan getting some water here. And they're obviously going through a drill here. But you notice here's Anthony Bradford. Notice the backup position, right guard. And Ed Orgeron's been mentioning Anthony Bradford moving up the depth chart. So this does, confirm what we actually believe, that Bradford is pushing Chasen Hines for that starter role. And here we go. Dellinger going through the drills there, so that's good to see. This right here is number 45, Stephen King. Writing books and playing fullback. I like it. Jaray Jenkins right there going through the drill. Who threw him that pass? I believe that was a bullet thrown by our friend and yours, Garrett Nussmeier. So the reason why I like to go in slow-mo is because I like to pick up who all is around the drill, who's working with who. And once again, you see George Munoz here, but I want you to take a look at who's here. This is special to the assistant Ed Orgeron, John Robinson, the legendary coach who joined the team in 2019. Garrett Nussmeier throwing a bullet there to Jaray Jenkins. And you look and you see all these people that are around. I believe this is that Scott Woodward? Is that who that is? I'm not sure. Derek Davis Jr., a lot of you have been asking about him, and there he is learning. Jordan Tolles out there with Kardell Thomas. Very interesting to see who's running with who. I've seen a lot of Jared Small working with the 1, so yeah, keep that in mind. I think we could see some Jared Small in action. So here's Jontre Kirkland on the receiving end of this pass. Now, why is it fascinating that Jontre Kirkland's on the receiving end of this pass? Well, the reason why is because this is actually the position that Jontre Kirkland would play. This is a red zone play that LSU ran against South Carolina for TJ Finley's first touchdown, where this wide receiver essentially picks the slot corner, and the slot receiver goes wide open in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. They did it with Terrace Marshall versus J.C. Horn, who ironically both of those guys will be first-round picks. And Jontre this time getting rewarded with the touchdown pass in practice, and he got 2 feet in bounds. I see you, Jontre. I see you. Here's Myles Brennan. Max Johnson working the other route to Kayshawn. Maybe that's the golden connection next season. Here's Nuss to Devonta Lee. And I'm not playing the audio because in the background you hear Coach yell out, "That's the S I'm looking for," or it's something along those lines. Coach's curse. So, I'm not playing the audio there. But here's Coy Moore, Jaray Jenkins, and a few others. So, there's the practice footage for you. Let me know what you think of this video. If you want to see more practice footage down below, you can find the links there. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Of course, live stream after the spring game on Saturday. If you're watching this after the spring game, live streams Tuesday nights and Saturday nights at 7 p.m. Central. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! What are we doing tonight? God, I think we were supposed to do lo mein. Instead, I got a Subway sandwich, so I think we're doing lo mein tonight. Let's go!